Hello lovelies, how are you all doing? I hope you're well. Another day with some background noises. I'm coming to you, I'm filming, I think it's the 30th of May, we're right at the end of May. I'm coming to the end of the heat wave, which I'm sure will make a lot of people happy. I've actually quite enjoyed it because obviously here I've got the lovely cooling sea breezes. I don't think I would have enjoyed it quite so much if I was in London. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning all this, we're coming to the end of the heat wave, and from the 1st of June, I just checked, I can see the weather forecast up until the 11th at the moment, 11th of June, and it's showing from the 1st to the 11th of June, every day, rain all day, every day. So I'm a little bit against the clock with getting stuff done in the garden. Specifically, one of the things I'm going to do today is plant some of the tomatoes. Not all of them, because the broad beans are in the way, although I've got a little plan that might help with that. But the reason I want to get at least, I'm hoping to get 4 in the ex-garlic bed. The reason I want to get them in today specifically is because, if you remember, with the tomatoes, Paul is also growing my saved seed of tomato seed alongside me. And amazingly, throughout the whole process, we haven't necessarily communicated it, but it's turned out we've kind of sown on the same day, we pricked out on the same day, or within 24 hours, we've pricked out. We started hardening off at the same time, and just speaking yesterday, we're both planning to, or the day before, but we're both planning to plant out around about now, trying to keep all the stages and the circumstances as similar as possible, so we get a good level of control in our experiment. The only difference will be that all of mine start indoors, so he started some indoors too, but mine stayed indoors right until a week or so ago when they started coming out to harden off. The difference with Paul's was he started them indoors, but pretty much once they were pricked out, he took them down to the allotment. They've been in the greenhouse. So his look a bit shorter than mine, but definitely sturdier, and they're trussing up already. Mine are much leggier. Mine are always leggy. But anyway, so yes, let's get some of them out so we've got that control group, as it were. But more than anything, just try and get as much done in the garden in the next couple of days before 10 days of rain. Who'd have thunk it? That would be great for the garden, but not great for me in terms of things getting planted out. And also because, just remembered, my compost order isn't arriving until I think the 2nd of June, once the rain is here. So compost to refill all my growing bags in order to put squash in them, etc, etc, I'm not going to be able to do. I'm probably going to have to be planting in the rain and not filming. Anyway, that's in the future. I'm just looking around, I'm going to have to do some Tetris today, but let's get on with the tasks in hand for today. Okay, so this is the bed in question today. Those are my sticks I wanted to keep. There. Let's just get these out of the way. They're not needed for this specific task. And this darn packet. The other thing, I'm going to be stepping on the bed today. I wouldn't normally advise it, but yeah, it's too much of a stretch otherwise. This is coming out of the way. Every inch is going to count. Let's just, I know it'll be off camera. Oh, let's just pop that there for now. Oh, popping is the wrong word. Right, where's my bucket? Oh, I haven't got all the bits I need, hang on. In terms of bed prep, there's not much to do. I gave it a really thorough weeding a couple of months ago. Not a couple of months, yeah. maybe sometime March and April. So just a few stragglers. I'm planning to cram a lot into this bed. Well, as I do all the beds. Okay, that's pretty much it. So I'm hoping, oh, let's have these big sticks back just as markers for now. I'm hoping to get 4 tomatoes in here. 1, 2, oh, it's going to be tight. 3, oh, I don't know if I'll get the 4th in, because down here, this is where I'm going to build my, oh, it's so hard to show you anything today because I'm up and down and up and down, but that's where I'm hoping to build the cute frame. Let's get the cute frame built first, because then that will dictate how much space I've got for the tomatoes. I could trim the abelian back a little bit. Oh, it's still really tight, isn't it? Okay, cute frame first. Okay, cute frame. It's a very simple idea. It's essentially a ladder for them to climb up. So I need a couple of sticks for the back of the ladder. Oh, hitting a rock. Oh, it would be a bad leg day today, wouldn't it? Just when I need good legs. Can't get it in. Very. That is not going in. This is not going according to plan. I might have to rethink this. Oh, for goodness sakes. I can extend the ladder. So this is the back supports to start with, but I could extend the ladder beyond it. If I can get that in there, that might do. I hope that'll do. And then the corresponding one. Oh, gotcha. So that's my back. And then use a 6 foot. I come in front by about, I'm just keeping an eye on where those tomatoes want to go. Maybe about 10 inches. I don't know why I'm in inches today. In the front, but leaning slightly back to meet, the other pole. That'll do. Same here. Now, tie them off at the top, and then starting at the bottom, lash. If you remember, I took these out of the shade garden. Lash these so they form a ladder. So I'm kind of, you can see I'm sort of sideways on. Instinct might be to put this at the back, grab up the back, but I want to get an extra tomato in. So these will get a bit of the morning sun this way, and then all the afternoon sun on the front. So yeah, I'm doing it sort of sideways on, sort of perpendicular with the wall, just to help me, well, hopefully cram a few more veggies in here. Right, I'm going to start lashing. It'll take me ages. I'll show you when I'm done. That's my little cucumber cucumber ladder slash frame done. It's a bit Heath Robinson, but yeah, waste not, want not. and yeah, it should do the job fine. So in front, I hope I'll get to plant, oh, spacing wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, might get 6 in there. Just underneath, I've put down that mesh and a couple of pebbles in that old pot for now, because in getting the bed ready, I discovered that, well, apparently this is a cat litter box, just this spot, so that's disgusting. I've got it all out, but anyway, yeah, cover it over. And I'm going to try to fit in 4 tomatoes here. That spacing is really tight, but they're a cordon type. They grow up, up, up. Just as long as I keep the foliage trimmed, especially with warm, rainy weather, you know, in terms of blight. Yeah, I think they might be okay. Put it this way, I'm going to give it a go. And I did trim back a little bit of the abellia. Right, I just want to speak a little bit about planting the tomatoes. I'm going to do it sitting down for a moment though. Okay, sitting down to do this next bit. Unfortunately, it's a really, really high pain day for me today. I'm in absolute agony. So makes me a bit weepy. Just doing that cute frame, I'm making noises and grunting, and it's horrible. No one needs to hear it. And truthfully, if it weren't for the fact that we've got 11 days, at least 11, that's as far forward as I can see, 11 days of rain coming, there's no way I would be doing any of this today. I would be indoors doing just looking, butterfly, red admiral butterfly. Yeah, I would be indoors doing sit-down work at the computer, or even lying with my legs up on the sofa and reading. This is hideous, but this is also my food. So, excuse me, I need a drink. No matter how much pain I'm in, I need to get my food on the go. So, tomatoes. You know, I think they absolutely are my favourite thing to grow. It's not necessarily my favourite thing to eat, but they're my favourite thing to grow, partly because they do require a bit of care, quite a bit of care. You know, think growing a squash, once they're planted, leave them alone, don't do anything. Oh, little sparrow, did you hear its wings flutter then? It's come down for a drink at the bird bath. Good morning, sir, how are you? Yeah, you know, so much of what we grow, we just put it in the soil and leave it alone. Whereas with tomatoes, well, certainly with the cordon, indeterminate, because they grow to an indeterminate height, as opposed to determinate, a determined height, also known as bush variety. Yeah, so with cordons, they do end up requiring a bit of care in terms of nipping out side shoots, tying them in, training them up those 8-foot poles. I love them for that. I feel it's not that I need an excuse to garden, but it's just that sort of weekly contact with my plants. It just makes me happy. But also the smell, every time we work with tomatoes, that scent that's released, and I'm sure it has a similar effect for many of you. Whatever your memory, your first memory of tomatoes is, for me it's my granddad. So yeah, love them. And that first fresh tomato, you know, we wait months and months and months for it, don't we? I mean, I probably go 10 months of the year without fresh tomatoes, waiting for the first fresh one. Still got plenty in the freezer. Actually, not plenty, but I've got enough to see me to the next harvest. Right, so planting, a couple of quick things. You can see they got a little bit leggy. Always happens because I start them indoors and I don't have a cold frame or greenhouse to bring them out into, which is why you'll see, if you look at Paul's videos, you'll see quite a difference. It's okay, they settle down, they'll be fine. But what I will do is, these are the cotyledons, the seed leaves, I'll take those off, pinch them off, and then I'll pinch off probably 1, 2, possibly even 3 of these side leaves and plant it there. So suddenly this big lanky plant will be like, and that will be soil level. As mentioned when I was pricking them out, all these little hairs on the stem, they will become, they're not quite roots, but they're like roots. It's more like, if you think in the human body, we have our major vessels, our arteries and our veins, and then going off them we have the teeny little capillaries. So these are almost like if the roots are the arteries and veins, these are going to act more like capillaries. But what's great is by planting the plant deeper, these will grow and reach out into the soil, and they can take up water, they can take up nutrients, so there's way more opportunity for the plant to get what it needs, water and nutrients. So planting them, even if they weren't leggy, I would tend to plant deeper, just to increase that possibility and opportunity for the plant to get extra water and extra nutrients. What I'm not going to do this year, and I forgot to do it, I completely forgot last year, and I was thinking about it for this year and then promptly forgot, is on the allotment, whenever I planted my tomatoes, in the planting hole I would always scatter just a sort of a pinch, not even quite a handful, of Epsom salts. Epsom salts are magnesium. Now, the thinking behind the Epsom salts is that it helps to stave off blossom end rot. That's when, as the fruit's developing, it doesn't develop properly and the end of it goes black and then the whole fruit rots. It's horrible. Blossom end rot, because people do get confused about this, is actually, well, people think it's caused by calcium deficiency, so they want to feed their plant more and more calcium. It's not so much a deficiency as the calcium is in the plant, but it's in the wrong place. It's not being transported to the fruits. The magnesium helps that calcium transport all around the plant. So the calcium that's in the plant, so just giving a calcium feed isn't going to alter blossom end rot. The magnesium does seem to help though. I know sometimes that seems so confusing, but it's like if you think in human beings, if you've had a blood test and the doctor says your iron is really low, we need to give you iron supplements, or you need to increase your iron-rich food intake, have either your iron supplement or your iron-rich food, but have it alongside vitamin C rich foods, because the vitamin C helps our bodies to absorb more of the iron. So you could be having enough iron in your diet, but because you're not having enough vitamin C, your body can't absorb the iron. So likewise with the tomatoes, they may have more than enough calcium in them, but they just can't transport it to where it's needed, those forming fruits. So yeah, that's why we add magnesium in the form of Epsom salts. I don't have any, I've forgotten. What I could do later on, once they're getting going a bit, I could add it as a feed. I've never added it as a feed. Paul was chatting about it this morning, so I will, because like I said, I've never done it as a feed. I'm not sure if he has done it as a feed or if he just knows, but he'll know the amount, so I'll ask him if it's needed. Anyway, so yeah, that's a little bit on planting the tomatoes. Now I'm going to go and get mine in off camera while I'm huffing and puffing, and I think there's one more thing to go in that bed today too. Yay for planting, and yay for our gorgeous, gorgeous tomatoes. I'm looking for light. It's so overcast today. Anyway, just before I just got the first one out of its pot to plant, and I thought, oh, I'll show you, because look at that. Look at those gorgeous roots. So they were pricked out. Oh, the light's appalling, isn't it? These were pricked out about 3.5 weeks ago, I think. So yeah, they are more than ready to be planted. Right, let's get on. Ah, that's a very happy sight. So yay, it's beginning to feel like it might be summer. They've all had a really, really good soaking in, and saying I'm going to get this ground covered up as well with something temporarily just to stop the cat. But having said yay for summer, yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to have to get the covers out to get all the garden furniture covered again for all this rain that's coming. But let's enjoy this dry and these tomatoes for a moment. Yippee! Right, now to find some space for a few more. Oh, oh, oh. It's time for some garden Tetris again. Oh, I don't know where everything's going to go. I can just, oh, there for now. This is going to take me a while. Oh, hang on a sec. Let me talk to you. Where are you? Coming up. Can't get over the difference. The sun is there, but you'd hardly know. Yeah, it's going to take me a moment. I'm going to basically, where I've got all these trays of seedlings and prickings out, move them out of the way. I'm going to get 3 of the grow bags. I need to empty the old compost from last year. I'll empty them into the bit of the shade garden that I cleared under the bay box, whatever that tree shrub is. Not going to be planting there yet because I need to get all that stump and roots out. So empty them, and I've got 1 1/4 bag of compost left from my initial order to fill those 3 with, I hope. Because I'm going to do wall tomatoes again with a difference. I'm going to try and wedge a pole in sort of to the bag and against the wall in the hopes that keeping them up slightly off the wall will stop the seagulls from robbing the fruit. But yeah, I need to move all these trays first. Let me get on and do that. I'll do it off camera because I'm gonna huff and puff and grunt. Really bad time for my knees to go bad. Hey ho, it is what it is, as folks say. Gosh, there's not a breath of a breeze today. Today actually feels muggier than when it was 5-6 degrees warmer. No sea breeze, but fantastic. So in the last couple of garden videos, you've heard occasionally, sometimes quite a lot, an angle grinder. I've seen the guys, you know, a couple of times when they're leaving because they're going using the back snicket. At the end of the day, I'm just sort of say, you know, cheerio, whatever. Anyway, they've just gone off for lunch and said hello. And then I noticed one had a dog tucked under his arm. So I raced to the gate to pet the dog. And we got chatting. And he looked over at my boiled beans. He said, oh, your beans look lush. I can't do a Dorset accent still, but your beans look lush. Chatting about gardening and how great it is to have one's own veggies. And so, oh, I can't do 2 things at once, can I? We've learned that in the past. Anyway, I was asking about, I said, are you doing a patio? Because I thought the angle grinder sounded like they're cutting stones. And he said, oh, a bit of everything. I said, because I really need to get mine done. So he's looking over. So we just had a little chat about what I want to have done. It's going to be a big job. It won't happen anytime soon. The priorities, the roof and windows, won't talk about them today. But yeah, so he's going to, after lunch, he's going to drop a card in to the garden. If I've gone back in, I think I'm going to have to go back in because this knee's getting really bad. He's going to just tuck it in my gate for me. But they seem like, look, anyone who looks over my gate and says, cool, lush, cool, look at your lush beans, that's the kind of person I want working in my home. You know, I always go on vibes. Right. Not quite enough I'm just going to get on and then I'll show you. So that's another 3 in. Well, sort of in. 2 are in. This one and this one. I don't know if you're able to pick up because but that one, that's only half a bag full, so it needs topping up the compost. Quite a lot of a top up. Actually, I might top them both up. But for now, they're sort of in. So you can see the idea now with the sticks. Just that little bit of support. Get them off. I'm going to lose my valerian. That's a shame, but food's more important. Besides, that's going to go over anyway. And I did notice first little trusses are forming. Yeah, and a truss on that one. Gosh, they really needed to go in. Okay, racing to get on. Oh, having a chat over the garden gate was such a lovely little boost. Actually, yesterday I went out my gate, down the snicket, through my neighbour's gate to go into her garden, lovely garden, with some of my spare tomatoes. Remember I said I'm growing extra on purpose for neighbours. yeah, that's a lovely little boost having the chat with the guys, and yeah, I'm excited at the prospect of fixing this patio. It's so dangerous. Anyway, it's especially dangerous on days like today where pain is so intense. I'm hardly picking my feet up, which means tripping is more likely. So what I'm going to do, there's so much still to do. I'm going to be sensible. I'm going to call it quits for now. I have to go down to Boots to collect my prescription. I have a pain medicine on prescription because it's stronger than over-counter stuff. So I'm going to now go down to Boots, collect that, come home, take my tablet and sit quiet and calm for an hour or so, see if this will subside a bit, because I'm looking down there. I cleared a bit more of the shade garden last night, which is probably why my knees are so bad. I've cleared a bit more and I really want to get a couple of plantings done, plus there's a couple of extra plantings I want to do out here. I just really want to get on and get plantings done now before all this rain comes. But being sensible, I'm going to rest for a little while first. So I will, oh yeah, and it's on here for now, but it'll have to come off. You know, the big tray I've got sits perfectly on the bench, still with room for me. Thank you, Sue, giving me an extra long bench. I've got room for all my plants and my bum. But I just saw gigantes, yay! And you might be thinking, crikey, where on earth is she going to cram the gigantes in? There's a plan. Alright lovelies, I think that's enough for now. I hope the information about tomatoes was useful. I hope the cucumber frame, for those of you who don't know me from my allotment days, I hope you find that a useful idea for you to try in your garden too, because growing vertically is just great in a small space. The more you can grow up, the more space you know, the more you can cram into a smaller footprint. So tomatoes that go up and up and up rather than out. Cukes that go up and up and up rather than sprawling everywhere. I do like a bit of sprawl too, and waffling. I will see you very soon for probably some more gardening. It's that time of year. Until then, please look after yourselves and happy veg growing to the lot of yous. Or flower growing. If you're not a veg grower, happy flower growing. Either way, enjoy your outdoor time while you can. Until the next one, cheerio lovelies. Chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep. That gorgeous, constant soundtrack to my garden. The gulls are asleep. Cheerio.